When we think of legacy mods and mods that are renowned for being known in the Hoi 4 world, of course we're going to think about Kaiserredux. It's a great mod, gives a changes the world, gives a great experience, and it's so legendary that they even made it twice. One being Kaiserreich, the other being Kaiserredux, that gives you a little bit more freedom. Now today in Kaiserredux, we are going to be jumping into the Middle East. It's been a long time since I've played this mod and I want a little bit of flavor, so we're going to be jumping into the lands of Persia. Persia is a great nation to play in this mod because it gives you a chance to change the main state. Yes, you are not a major nation, but you can change the way how things work. You could aid the Germans against the Union. You could aid the Union against the Germans. You could aid the Russians against the Germans. Or you could even go full conquest yourself. Kaiserredux Persia is great, and we're going to be playing as the big boober Ahmad Shah Qajar. So for a touch of anime flavor with Kaiserredux for a bit of fun, I figured it'd be fun to hop into Persia, take control of the Middle East, restore order in the region, and then use us as a catalyst to aid whoever we want to be the world power. So of course, make sure to click the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's lock on in as Ahmad Shah Qajar of Persia. So starting off in 1936 with Persia, we are in a situation where we only have 12 divisions, of which I'm all going to put onto the Ottomans border, and our focuses are limited to 2 trees available, the government reform and the expansion for army funding. Oh, sorry, 3, and the air academy. Now, if we take a decent look, I'm going to push down government reform ASAP, not only because it helps things fix themselves, get our literature up, and get ourselves up to a decent standard, it also gets me this, Tehran University, which gives me 1 research slot, which is very much needed when we only have 2. So I'm going to start with government reform. Also, looking at our decisions, there is literally nothing to worry about, so off, goodbye. And with our industry, we're going to go Civi. Kaiserreich being Kaiserreich, I'm going to enjoy myself a little bit just for the moment. Kaiserredux is also just as fun, but they have one thing in common, and it's called the Great Depression, the Blue Monday, the Black Monday, the Monday, whichever it was, I completely forget. The economic crash, I'm not ready for it. I don't want the suffering, please, no. And here we have Black Monday. It finally hit, speak of the devil, and it shall appear. The German economy has been growing ever since their victory in the Weltkrieg and has a strong economic links to Persia. Due to the size of their economy and our large oil reserve, our economy has more and more become dependent on Germany. This is not good. Black Monday has hit. Now, do I get a Black Monday focus tree? No, but it does open up the focuses for fixing the economy and replacing Black Monday with weak economy. So I'm going to finish governmental reform, mandatory education, Tehran University, and then I'm going to blitz through all of the economy so I can just fix the economy and so that we can start pumping up factories like no one's business. Let's go. So it seems it's time for a national change. The Shah is dead. Reports this morning have come informing us about the passing of Ahmad Shah Qajar, which is Big Boober over here. We also have a secondary leader just to make sure, the head of the ministers, which is Hassan Taqizadeh. I probably butchered that. Cool portrait, whatever, kind of looks like a vampire, but this is Big Boober King Shah. However, he's dead. Now, we have an option here to keep his brother in charge. Mirza will stay in Persia and leave, or lead, or he flees Persia and leaves forever. I'm going to say he's going to stay in Persia. I want him in Persia. Here he is, Hassan Mirza Qajar. Oh boy. Did I ever mention that I love Persia? Persia's great. Persia's amazing. You know what? Persia's fantastic. Let's get Tehran done, and then we'll also push for... Okay, what's happening now? There are people lining. Send the loyalists to capture key points in Tehran. Let's not stir up Tal. Send the loyalists to the Majis. The Majis? Who's the Majis? We could command those people to storm the Majis to keep order and capture any potential threats. We could also send these people to capture key points in Tehran to secure power. Okay, do we control them, or do we take Tehran? Tehran is only the capital, whereas the loyalists... Yeah, we're going to the Majis, or the Majils. So I keep getting these pop-ups here about the civil war that's currently happening right now. This is a good example of one. For example, the fight for Shiraz. Shiraz is probably one of the oldest Persian cities to exist. Yes, dating back to the Achaemenid Empire and its foundations. Yes. Now, there's a whole issue here, but we can choose the Qashqai tribe hasten their march to Shiraz in order to reinforce the rebels, or the Qashqai tribe launches an early offensive that could bring the city to their control. We're bringing it to their control. I don't want the rebels to take any form of power. The revolutionaries attack the last fortified outposts and claim the city for themselves. Okay. Republicans have won the Greek referendum. Good for them. And the winner is... Who is the winner? You didn't tell me who the winner is. I'm just getting pop-up after pop-up. The loyalists come out victorious. Good. As it should be. The Qajar is still in charge. Hassan Mirza Qajar. Constitutional monarchy remains. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. I can finally relax. Good God, that was stressful. I'll tell you what though, just looking around now that there's more events and more nations and rebels and stuff popping up because of those issues, we're now getting new portraits, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing some really, really good ones. Like, for example, this one's pretty nice. They kind of look like a Code Geass character. This one, she is straight. I don't know where I've seen this character, but I've seen this character before. It is either Eureka 7, Macross, Spaceship Yamato. One of the three. Maybe even Gundam. I've seen this character before. Decent character. German West Africa is balling. We've got a Yu-Gi-Oh character or something going on in Afghanistan fighting against this. The Blue Goblin, I suppose. Vietnam is currently having a fight back in the Indo-Chinese Union led by just random lady. I mean, that's quite the transition, isn't it? Random lady versus that. Yeah, Dutch East Asia is going to dominate that just on profiles alone. Of course, Portugal is still fine. Spain is still very fine. Morocco is still fine. Cyrenaica / Libya is still fine. Egypt is still fine. Ethiopia is still fine. Yemen is still fine. Muscat is cool. Nejd is cool. Jabal Shamar is still fine. Liberia is still fine. Guatemala is fine. El Salvador is Madame Demetrescu. And it's time for a nice little update in 1937, 21st of March. And the update is America just exploded. As you can see here, it is absolutely fractured into different nations. And let's have a look at the portraits that they've got. So the Pacific States is literally just the Congress. The Western Command Center, really nice portrait. I can't place where it is, but decent portrait. Union State, fairy tale character, I think. Kind of okay. I still think this one's better. We have the Constitutional American Republic, led by this person over here, William H. Murray. Really like this portrait. Really nice portrait. The Combined Syndicates, led by, I don't know, Persona character? I don't know, William Hayward. Then we've got Douglas Arthur, good old Dougie Doug. And then New England, again, just the Halford. We don't know what's going on with New England yet. Kingdom of Canada might eat them, or they might have their own kingdom. We do not know. In terms of Persia and minding our own business, I'm slowly but surely going through those focuses to fix the nation. So, for example, modern agriculture, lingering famine has gone to fading famine. Now, that does not make my situation any better, because if we take a look over here, it's still -15 and -5. We have a lot to do, like the weak economy, the illiterate populace, the unruly Khans, the corrupt aristocracy, the disorganized military, political crisis. There is a lot to do. And I do know at some point we're going to have a random event thrown on us to eat the Ottomans. So I do need to get my army fixed at one point or another. I just want to blitz through this and get the economy done, because I feel like the economy is definitely far more important than anything else right now. And it's finally time. Our time has come. Persian Rising is here. The Ottomans are at war with Egypt. They're having internal combustion with Syria. And we've got a decision. The Ottomans are weak, and it is time to pounce. By saying yes, it's time for the troops to go marching in. The great Persian forces are on their way. We have a non-aggression pact with the Egyptians, which I will happily sign. And at the same time, we've also just completed most of our army tree, so the negative buffs that we have for our army are completely gone. So, let's go. It's time to expand the Great Persia and rebuild the Persian Empire. Long live Persia. And as you can see, we are marching through with next to 0 occupation forces, 0 resistance. This is perfect. This is absolutely brilliant. They're too occupied dealing with Syria and Egypt that they don't have time for us at all. We are walking straight in. Look, they're even at war. They're even at war with Yemen. They're even at war with Yemen. We've got this in the bag. We've got this. We've got this. And there you have it. Egypt has accepted the early surrender of the Ottomans. A time for healing. As you can see, this is where it ended. We did the most damage in that war, causing nearly 200,000 losses to the Ottomans. We did bleed 50k though, so it did hurt a fair amount, but it could have been worse. It could have been worse. But thanks to that, we now have a free Syria, a free Iraq, and we are no longer at war, which is great. I'm going to bring all of my troops home, and I am going to put them on the Turkish/Iraqi border area. We also have a new ally in Armenia, only for the moment, but I am not going to join their Russian war because I do not want nor need that aggro. We also have Al-Hashimi protects the Iraqi Republic. We should not risk ourselves the ire of the Arabs. Support Yusuf. Yep, we're not risking nothing. You know what? That changes my mind. We're not going after Turkey Ottoman anymore. I'm putting the troops on the Iraqi border just to be safe. And here we are at the turn of the century. Century? No, decade. It is now January 3rd, 1940, and the whole world is on fire. India is at war. Japan and China are at... Oh, no, maybe not China. But Japan. Japan is definitely at war. Germany is at war with the whole damn world. America is still divided. The French are going for it now. The Brits are going for it now. The Canadians and New Englanders are going for it now. Everyone is at war, even Egypt. The only person who isn't at war is us. Now, you may be saying, like, why? Why? Anglo, why? This is why. This is how fast my economy is after doing the specific economy focuses. I don't have negative things for my economy and my building anymore. I have nothing. It's just that. So I'm gonna just go through this, finish this, and then once we get to here, then we can start to think about eating territories around us to expand, because that seems to be our only ability right now. You may also ask, Anglo, what is the goal for this video? I have decided it is just to build a Grand Persia and assist whoever I think is going to be the winner. Do I want a one tag? No. Do I want Europe? No. Do I want India? Maybe a little bit. But I'm only going to create the great Grand Persian Empire under our Hassan Mirza Qajar, crown princess, I guess now, of Persia. So it's going to be a vibe. I just need to build up. So I'm going to silently, quietly try and build whilst I work my way through the tree. And I'll see you when it's time to pounce, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not doing much with 24 infantry. And it seems that the war is over before I even got a chance to join. If we're looking at the timeline, it is now 1940 in November. The Kaiserreich is about to fall. The German Empire has capitulated, and this is the end game. Yes, Russia is still at war against these forces in the no, they're not. Oh, they're not. Okay, never mind. Russia's doing Russian things then. But as it stands, the Commune of France and the socialists, the syndicalists, have all reigned supreme. Like they are succeeding very greatly right now, and their only enemies are the Entente. I think it's too late for the Entente. The Entente's not going to join because Canada is too busy being preoccupied into the American Civil War. Canada should have joined all this after retaking the homeland. They did not prepare for this well. But as it stands now, the only hope of returning Europe back to its original status would be the Orthodox state of Russian Empire. We are slowly growing ourselves. As you can see, we are also at war with Afghanistan down here, and we are finally in our aggressive focuses. I just have to be very... Why is it frozen? Why is it frozen? Stop freezing. Now that it's finally stopped freezing, I can actually continue what I was saying. I've finally unlocked the aggressive focuses, which means we can now start to progress a little bit down our tree. It's frozen again. Okay, there we go. Which means we can start focusing down these trees, like for example, the liberation of Tajikistan, which unfortunately means we're going to need to go to war with Russia. Reclaim Baluchistan, which means we're going to have to go to war with the Entente. The province of Kariti, again, it's looking like gaining a claim going against Georgia or Russia. Armenia, yet to be confirmed. And then reassert claims on the Iraqi Arab, which means going to war with Iraq. That's easy. I can do that. I've got no problem with that one. It's the Russian one that I've got a little bit of an issue with. You know, I do have 100% world tension, so that means I can go to the Ottomans and justify a war goal, which is quite nice. And to be honest, I might just have to do that. They've only got 55 divisions, so I will slowly grow my power. And then I'm going after the Ottomans. I'm going after Ottomans, Syria, and Egypt manually. I'm not starting a fight on the Russians. You know what? The Russians, they can keep this. They can keep Tajikistan. They can keep all of this. You know, that's perfectly fine by me. And after adding to our collection in the peace deal by taking Azerbaijan as well as Afghanistan, the Russians took everything else up here, which is quite good for me. As you can see, we are planning on the Ottoman Empire. Now, the Ottoman Empire only has between 12 to 60 divisions. I do not know how much, but they do have 19 on the border. I am justifying, but I might need to cancel and justify again later until I've built infrastructure to make my units fight at full org, because they are struggling quite a lot in these circumstances. So that's no good. Also, Crete, they're on the verge of dying, but I do have to say this. I really like the Cretan flag. The Cretan flag is hot. I like that flag. That's a good flag. And then the fall of Europe. This is, as you can see, the Republic of Austria, Croatia, Slovakia, the Czech, the Bavarian, the Germans up here, and the East Prussians over here. The socialists have grown in power, and they're about to finish off the Entente in France. All that remains is Canada and India, and well, Canada's a little bit busy in America, so we can count them off. So the whole fate of the Western world lies on Russia's shoulders. Can Peter do it? I don't know if Peter can. I'm just going to focus on being my great big Persia, and after Persia's borders have been restored and I'm happy with what I see, that's when I'm going to leave it be. So I think the idea here is Ottomans, Syria, Egypt, Hashemite Arabia, maybe northern Hashemite Arabia, and then Iraq. I could go after Iraq right now, but they're guaranteed by all of this, and all their divisions numbers together is going to give me a hard time. So again, Ottomans, build, and then the final piece of the puzzle, I think. I think that's the game plan here. So big update here, and as you can see, we've actually managed to kind of fail, but positively. So we launched the attack onto Turkey, and the Russians declared war at the same time, which is why we've kind of been pieced out here, although we did block their whole army here in Malatya. But then you might be asking yourself, why are you at war with India? Did you complete the focus? And my answer for that is no. Because Turkey was at war with Russia at the same time, and then Russia is basically at war with everyone, as you can see, Turkey decided to join the Kingdom of Canada's faction, the Entente. Because of that, I am now in a position where I am at war with the whole Entente. I'm going to use this as a opportunity to eat up India and maybe even hop across the Straits of Hormuz and eat Muscat and take out Muscat. I'm not sure if that's possible though, so I'm not going to get my hopes up for that. But I am going to use this as an opportunity to take our territories in India, and you know what, I might as well, since I've now have 2 armies, I'm going to go for Iraq, Syria, Arabia, and even Egypt, and then when the peace deal comes through and everything's all lined up, and well, Russia eventually defeat the socialists and all of the Reds in Europe, I can get the peace deal, Persia can reign supreme, and we reach our end goal. So all in all, a decent playthrough. So I'm going to crack on with India, just keep letting my troops bleed away. We are sitting here with 153k losses compared to the Canadians. No, Ottomans with their 145. I don't know why I only did 32k when I wiped out their whole army, but I don't know. Finland took the casualties apparently. And then with Delhi, we have done quite a decent amount, but the Republic of Sikkim has done the most. I'll finish the job and I will see you very shortly. So as you can see over here, we did manage to finish the job in India, and I decided to move forward with sealing the fate of our empire and dealing with the Middle East. Now, we managed to crush all of these guys over in the Middle East, and we are pushing over into Africa now. And then we get this, victory against the Sultanate of Egypt. Obvious right from the start, it seems that the Egyptian dogs can bark but lack the capacity to bite. Demand Egypt recognize our gains, or no, we shall crush them. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to be my last conquest. I've got Turkey. I've got basically all the borders that I wanted. I've only got a little bit of land left to take, and it is northern Egypt. So what's 10 war support? That's nothing. Let's crush them. Of course we're going to crush them. Let's get the job done. We'll finish the Egyptians, put them to bed, and once that's all done and dusted, we can finally, you know, bask in our glory, as it were. Yeah, baby. Let's do it. And peace has finally come to the Middle East. As you can see here, we have 57% of the war score, with the Nigerian Free State taking up 27%. And you know what? Although it is player-led, I'm not going to take the cake. I'm only going to take the lands that were rightfully mine. So, obviously, Hashemite Arabia, all of me. Lebanon, all of me. Syria, all of me. I think that was pretty much most of it. Yep, that sounds about right. Cameroon also did a fair bit. So Cameroon's territories, they can take for themselves. I've got no problem doing that. The Nigerian Free State, they can take Hausaland. The Commune of Gabon did, well, Gabon did nothing. I'm sorry. They literally got 0%. And all that's left is Ethiopia, Egypt, and Tripolitania. So let me wrap up this peace deal on fair basis, and I shall see you shortly. And in 1945, our career and our campaign comes to an end. Treaty of Cairo, Persia took 39, Cameroon took 3, the Nigerian Free State took 2, and this is the ending. So I did plan only to take up until here. However, Ethiopia could not be puppeted. There was no puppet option, so I did have to annex them, unfortunately. I gave Nigeria the northern Libyan lands because, well, why not? You know what? I give them ambition. If they want to unite their territories, they need to get rid of Niger and maybe Wadi, and then they can be like the great central North African power or something. Cameroon's looking nice, big and strong, and obviously good old Persia reigns supreme. So with that being the case, and with that being said, yes, the Great Grand War has not come to an end, but it doesn't look like it's coming to an end anytime soon. Canada has got their situation not looking too good. They're cornered by the Pacific states, and on the other side of Newfoundland, they have Union of Britain. So it's not looking too good for Canada. Speaking of which as well, the Russians are finally crumbling to the power of the Commune. So I guess in this reality and in this world, the Commune reigns supreme. But Persia got her territories. Persia stands strong, and Persia will hold her territory with grand power and grand ambition, thanks to the ever so beautiful Hassan Mirza Qajar. Well, that being the case, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I do hope you've enjoyed. Again, if you have, of course, don't forget to, click the like button and subscribe. Share it with your friends. growth for the channel, all that fun stuff. And I will probably see you guys in the next video I do. So until then, guys, I do hope you've enjoyed this Persian power trip when they're led by hot anime girls. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be visiting anime girl mods quite a bit now. Listen, I've had a relapse, okay? I've had a relapse. It's big boober anime time. Don't judge me. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da!